Joined now by Mike Ramsey. How about the Rammers showing up tonight? Obviously, your daughter Rachel playing for the Minnetonka Skippers. And did you teach her that wrist shot?
I would like to claim that I taught her how to shoot, but I tried to teach her and she wouldn't listen to me. So I got Jacques Lemaire. I said, "Hey, can you work with Rachel a little bit?" Because she doesn't want to listen to me. So he worked with her a little bit. I was telling her the same thing I was trying to tell her, but I think the messenger was a little more powerful than me.
Held a little more weight, huh?
Yeah, so that was how she got her shooting start.
Well, talk about this Minnetonka team a little bit from what you've seen, at least. Of course, you're a busy guy during the season as well, but so far they look pretty solid tonight.
Yeah, they've got some young players. They got 4 freshmen on the team, and so obviously they'll give them a little different look. And I know the freshmen probably a little nervous, but it's a good hockey game. Breck's a good team. I've only seen them. This is my first time seeing them play. I missed their season opener, and I don't get to see them play too much. So when I get out, I enjoy watching them.
We'll talk about your day job a little bit as well. You got pretty much everything's different except for you over there these days. Everything kind of changed. You stayed the same, but talk about that. Little change over there.
Yeah, I was excited to survive the change. I didn't know if I was going to get an opportunity to stay, and they gave me an interview with Chuck and then with Todd and a couple more with Todd, and I was able to stay, and I'm excited about the opportunity. And it is a different look from top to bottom in the organization, and a few new players. We're playing a little bit different style of hockey. I think early it took us a little bit to gel, but as coaches, we like the way we've been playing the last, I'd say, 7-8 games. A total different look than we were about a month ago.
Right, and things are, again, you have to expect that as the change progresses, that I think people will get a little more comfortable as the system sets in. And like you said, the whole system has changed. So, I'm assuming you'd agree that some of the players that are there that fit Jacques Lemaire's system don't exactly maybe fit in and maybe have to change their game just a little bit.
Well, I think with Jacques, and there's only one Jacques Lemaire. And Jacques is a great hockey coach, great hockey mind, and his philosophies are a little bit different than Todd's. And I'm a believer in if everybody's on the same page in the system, you can have success. Jacques, in simplicity, Jacques is if we lost the puck and we didn't have a chance to get it back, we'd pull back and wait, and they'd have to come through, all 5 of us. With Todd, if we lose the puck, let's go get the thing. In simplicity, that's kind of how we want to play, and so you're trying to attack a little bit more, and you're not sitting back as much. But the bottom line is you got to try to win hockey games.
Talking with Mike Ramsey of the Minnesota Wild, and obviously you made your original claims to fame with the Olympic team, and before that in college as well. But talk about your journey through hockey.
Well, I played at Minneapolis Roosevelt. They don't have a hockey program anymore. Then I was with the Gophers, and actually I played a little trivia. I played for the JV the first half of the season, till Christmas time, and that made the varsity, and things took off from there. We won a national championship, and I was fortunate enough to make the Olympic team, and I think it helped a little bit playing for Herb. He knew about me a little bit. He knew what I was about, and got drafted, signed with Buffalo, and never looked back.
One question I always wonder, as kind of the outsider looking in, is obviously the movie came out a couple of years ago, and how, as somebody who's a part of that movie and a part of the actual event, how does the movie react, or what was your reaction to the movie?
Well, I got to tell you, anytime there's a movie and you're in it, and you're pretty excited. And there was a few things that were a little stretched, but for the most part, the movie was more or less about Herb and the team, and they did a good job. I always want inside information. The skate that happened with Norway in Norway after we lost the game, and they had everybody out there skating and guys were puking. I didn't do the skate.
No?
No, I didn't skate, so I kind of feel guilty when I see the movie and everybody wants to talk about the skate. I didn't do the skate. There was a couple of us that got thrown out of the game for fighting, and there was a couple of us that weren't dressed either because we had extra guys. So, and we offered to put our equipment on and skate, and Craig Patrick, he said, "Don't worry, it's only going to last 5 minutes."
Only a couple of minutes.
And it lasted a half hour, but so I feel very, very, very guilty about that part.
So the other question, I guess, is when you're watching someone portray you specifically, what's going through your mind? I mean, were you pleased with who played you, or were you glad that they looked as good as they did, or what was your thought?
I thought he was a lot better looking than me, and he had a lot more hair than I had, and he was a decent hockey player, and so I felt pretty happy with the how I was portrayed in the movie.
Getting back to some of the other things, obviously you were with the Buffalo Sabres and you played for the Gophers. Would you say probably that the gold medal, though, was your crowning achievement in the game, or where do you stand on that?
As you're moving along in your career, I mean, I thought getting to the state high school hockey tournament was it, and then we won with the Gophers, and we win a gold medal, and I'm going, how can it get better? How can it get better? And obviously, that in my hockey career, that's probably the most important or most monumental thing to happen to me. But I was excited and fortunate to play 17 years in NHL, and I was very proud of that. The Olympics is a 2-week tournament, and we were a team. We were together for the whole year, but for a two-week tournament, that NHL schedule and over and over and over and over is that's a grind.
One last thing before we let you go. You mentioned obviously you played at Minneapolis Roosevelt, and you alluded to the fact that they don't have a team anymore. And it's got to be somewhat depressing and sad for you to watch that. Minneapolis and St. Paul too had all the great hockey teams. I mean, Minneapolis South had some great teams. Roosevelt had some great teams. St. Paul Johnson had great teams, and now it's just relegated to you got 2 high school teams in the city, and you in Minneapolis, and St. Paul's got just a couple as well. And it's got to be very sad for you to see that.
Yeah, I think you look around. I don't know where you can pinpoint it, but my parents still live where I grew up, and there's an outdoor rink there, and nobody's there, nobody's skating. And I know when we grew up, that outdoor rink was packed, and if there was snow on it, it got shoveled. But now there's not a lot of kids out there skating, and that's just the way it is in the city. But outdoor rinks are getting used in the suburbs a little bit, but not as much as you would think. We get spoiled with the indoor ice, I think.
Do you think there's anything that they could ever do about that could maybe rejuvenate, maybe something the Wild might be able to help with? Or do they do much of that? Or what could be done, if anything?
Well, I think it probably would have to start with all your associations and stuff. Everything is so structured. Even kids that they have practice at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, they're not going to come home from school and skate outdoors. They're going to, I got practice in 2 hours, so they're not going to skate. So everything's so structured. Indoor hockey, there's not a lot of kids at the rink just playing shinny, and I don't remember that much structure. Our practices were outdoors, which I know the kids don't want to practice outdoor. I wouldn't want to practice outdoor now either, but just a little more open ice, so just going down the park and being down there for 4 hours and goofing off and playing. That's where they get their skills and the love of the game, I think.
All righty, Mike Ramsey, want to thank you again for coming on with us today. And
thank you, appreciate it.
Enjoy watching your daughter again. First time you've seen her this year, so enjoy that the rest of the game.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, we will take another break here. We're at the Breck Ice Arena. At the end of 2 periods of play, it is the Minnetonka Skippers 2 and the Breck Mustangs 1. You're watching high school hockey here on MSBN.